What happens when a major country gets cut off from the West, but still finds a way to move its goods? Sanctions were supposed to shut down Russia's economy, but the ships kept sailing, the trains kept running, and new trade routes quietly took shape. In this video, we'll show how Russia rebuilt its supply chain using Arctic ports, backdoor imports, and a fleet of ships designed to stay hidden. This is global trade, under pressure and rerouted. Let's go back to when the sanctions hit, and Russia had to change everything. In early 2022, trade between Russia and Europe collapsed almost overnight. The European Union stopped buying Russian coal, cut back on oil, and blocked all kinds of exports, from cars to computer programs. Russia was also locked out of major international banking systems like ZWIFT. Western ships stopped coming to Russian ports altogether. For a country that depended so much on European buyers, the impact was instant. St. Petersburg, Russia's biggest shipping port, suddenly went quiet. But behind the scenes, Russia was already preparing for something like this. The government had seen this coming and was ready to switch gears. New trade routes were lined up. Deals were being made with different countries. And instead of shutting down, Russia found ways to keep things moving, just in a new direction. This is how Russia rebuilt its trade routes and kept its goods flowing. First, it turned north. Arctic ports like Murmansk and Sabeta became key for oil and gas, using the northern sea route as ice continues to melt. Then it went east. Trains carried cargo through Kazakhstan and Mongolia into China. With parallel imports, Russia bought Western goods through third countries. Same products, different labels. At sea, a shadow fleet of reflagged, hard-to-track tankers delivered oil to buyers in India, China, and beyond. It's a quiet but massive system, supported by nations still willing to trade with Russia. Before we go further, let's look at two exports that tell the real story. Natural gas from the Yamal Peninsula shows what changed. When Western companies left, Russia made new deals and sent tankers east to Asia. Chinese buyers became central, and Russian-built ships, backed by Chinese financing, began sailing through the Arctic. Grain followed a similar shift. Russian wheat once went mostly to Europe. Now it moves through Novorossiysk, heading to Egypt, Turkey, and across Africa. It's about money and influence. Gas and grain show how Russia, once blocked, built new routes to keep trade flowing. Russia's not the only one doing this, but no one else is doing it like this. Iran and Venezuela have been under sanctions for years. Iran found ways to trade by swapping goods, using secret oil tankers, and bypassing currency restrictions. Venezuela used unregistered ships and backdoor deals to move oil. But what Russia has done is bigger. It didn't just find quick fixes. It rebuilt its whole system. With its huge size, natural resources, and strong trade links with countries like China and India, Russia had more choices, and it used every one of them. Instead of folding under pressure, it used the sanctions to create a new trade model that works without the West. It's a kind of strength and strategy that the world hasn't seen on this level before. So what's the bottom line? Russia's trade slowed down, but didn't stop. The routes changed, the risks grew, but the goods kept moving. What began as a workaround is now a system. Arctic ports, China rail, shadow fleets, and new banks. Trade adapted. And if Russia pulled it off, who's next? Subscribe for more global trade insights and drop a comment if this shift feels permanent.